God. Amen.
SDV Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing the executive governor of Kogi State, please let as we welcome on the executive deputy governor of Kogi State in the person of Mr. Edward Onoja. Thank you so very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I also welcome the Executive Deputy Governor of Kogi State, the Conference State, in person of Chief Edward Onoja. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for our very, very amiable Deputy Governor of Kogi State, the Conference State. And of course, our SFG is also here, a lady of substance, action lady. We welcome you, ma'am, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to see you, sir. You're most welcome. Very much, ma'am. Quickly, I would want to bring on stage the man we want to hear speak. Personally, I want to hear this one because it's something that is quite close to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together as I hand over the microphone to Pastor Tunde Bakare to come talk briefly on remarks on what the nation building legacies by the older generation of Nigerians. Can we please put our hands together one more time for him? And praise the Lord, better part to praise the Lord. The Lord is good, and all the time. You are welcome, sir.
Please let me see the celebrants. Thank you. Our distinguished celebrant, Alhaji Sowunmi, the Baba Dini of Nigeria, and the Baba Dini of Egbala. Happy 80th birthday to you, sir. Congratulations on your book Jubilee celebration. May the good Lord add life to your years, and may He add years to your life. We trust God that the best of your life will be the rest of your life. In the mighty name of Jesus. Distinguished Deputy Governor of Kogi State, the Chief of Staff, Ogun State, and all dignitaries here present. It's my pleasure to salute everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and to welcome you to this special Jubilee Lecture. I wish I could spend all the day here today to celebrate with you, because you married from my home state. Your wife came from my family, and I'm representing the entire family today to celebrate you and to thank God for your life. Thank you for being a role model. The Lord will continually bless you in Jesus' name. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here today to celebrate an elder statesman, an illustrious kinsman, and a gift to our nation from the land that securely rests under the rock, Abeokuta. You can be envious of us if you're not from Abeokuta. That's why we keep on singing Glory to Betele, Libe, and Bibi. Ibelabe Tomidaga, Ile Obinira, long before the independence of Nigeria. Today, in honor of you, we are gathered here. You are a man of many parts, moving together by a common thread of consistent contribution to community and to country. In the course of an impactful nation-building career, Chief Tayo Sowunmi has continued to reinvent himself. And I will attest to that in a moment. He started from being a radical activist, first as the president of the best university in Nigeria, the University of Lagos Students' Union. Can somebody shout above school? Great Akokite! Great Akokite! First as the president of the University of Lagos Students' Union, then to being a trade unionist, and now politician and statesman guided by equity and social justice. Even more remarkable are your diplomatic competencies that have enabled you to engage in a unique brand of politics, which has seen you building bridges across ethnic, religious, and generational lines. Chief Tayo Sowunmi's relevance across generations is a worthy case study for emerging leaders. You need to see how your daughter put pressure on me. I can't see her face, don't hide. She put so much pressure on me. I was in Abuja and I said, I cannot make Papa's lecture. And she objected. And if he were to die, he would show up. Now that he's alive, won't you celebrate him? And my wife was by my side and said, yeah, I love you. Thank you, Mrs. B, for encouraging me to come. I took the first train this morning from Lagos to Abeokuta. The last time I was inside any train was 1967. But we really enjoyed the ride. God bless you. Deary, thank you for this pressure. And one day I'll put pressure on you too. As one ponders the longevity of your career, one is reminded of the words of Dr. Pakistani, a poet, Edson Segal, who said, the elders are the history and mirror of the living past. Study them to brighten your life and future. One is reminded also of French playwright and poet, Jean-Baptiste Rousseau, who said, youth is a time to study wisdom. Old age is a time to practice it. As a young activist, Chief Tayo Sowunmi in this study of wisdom and glean from the elders. And now, as an elder statesman himself, he graciously dispenses the wisdom he accumulated over the decades in promoting inclusive politics and stabilizing the polity. In addition, an even greater testament to Chief Sowunmi's transgenerational significance is his enduring love of learning. As a lifelong learner, his mastery of the issues of the day amplified the words of Henry Ford. He said, and I quote, anyone who stops learning is old. And whether 20 or 80, Anyone who keeps learning stays young. Indeed, Sowunmi's continued impact and relevance to the issues of our day and the future of our nation reminds me of Caleb in the Bible. If you have the time, please study the book of Numbers, and you'll find a man called Caleb, who was 85 years old. Sir, you are just 80. You still have more years ahead of you. Caleb said he was as strong at 85 as he was at the age of 40. And he turned to Joshua and said, "Give me this mountain." Such relevance across generations was what Robert F. Kennedy described in the following words. And I wish you would give me attention, sir, because I'm here for your sake. Thank you, sir. I want you to please take this in, because we need all the wisdom you can impart to our generation. Robert F. Kennedy said, "This world demands the qualities of youth, not a time of life, but a state of mind, a temper of the will, a quality of imagination, a predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the life of ease." Let me therefore say hearty congratulations once again to the 80-year young Chief Tayo Sowunmi. Shall we say 80-year young? Who has gracefully combined the wisdom of the elderly with the adventurous spirit of youth. I'm always careful when I want to shake hands with you. The last time I shook hands with you at a hotel when the point was being presented, you shook my hand, my arm almost fell off. You are strong as the oak. God bless you, sir. Perhaps more than all your achievements combined, Chief Sowunmi's most significant attribute has been the value he places on legacy and intergenerational collaboration. His dedication to legacy is seen in the quality of the contributions of his children to nation building across diverse spheres of influence, as well as the impact he has had on countless young achievers across the nation. This commitment to legacy will form the basis of my brief address as we examine today the theme, Worthy Nation Building Legacy by Elders to the Younger Generation of Nigerians. Worthy Nation Building Legacy by Elders to the Younger Generation of Nigerians. The question before us today is, how can the attributes that shape the generation of the lives of Chief Sowunmi, qualities of character, courage, commitment, competence, consistency, and capacity be transferred to subsequent generations of nation builders? To address this question, I'm reminded that storytelling is a potent instrument by which elders transmit wisdom to the young. Please permit me, therefore, to briefly borrow this technique from our elders as I tell you a story. It is a story that most people here are cognizant of to some degree. It is our collective story as a nation, and a tale of the making of Nigerian leadership from the pre-colonial era to the present day. I hope that in the course of retelling this well-known story, the gaps in our national lineage will be discovered, and the solutions will be likewise evident. Once upon a time, before the colonial era, the groups that now make up the Nigerian state existed as self-governing empires, kingdoms, city-states, towns, villages, and clans. While institutions of leadership varied across these groups, in most cases, leadership was hereditary, with rulership retained in ruling families and passed on from a progenitor to a progenitor. In Republican climes like the Igbo land that had no monarchical structures, leadership was age-determined with the oldest emerging as a class leader in most cases. In such climes, 8th grades were points of convergence, which provided a system for 8th grades representation in leadership as well as intergenerational mentorship. At the base of this structural engagement was the household. Households or families provided the most potent environment for intergenerational dialogue and the transference of cultural norms and values from one generation to another. With the advent of colonialism, however, these traditional structures gradually caved in. Although the political system of indirect rule preserved some political institutions, the people were not represented in the actual governance frameworks. The loss of economic and political power will lead to the gradual weakening of social institutions. This atmosphere of social, political, and economic subjugation will soon foster a wave of nationalistic reactions. At this time, Albert Macaulay, the father of Nigerian nationalism, emerged on the scene, and the idea of a Nigerian nation began to form. In keeping with the culture of intergenerational collaboration and transference of legacy, Albert Macaulay collaborated with a younger nationalist, Nnamdi Azikiwe, to whom he would later bequeathed leadership of the National Council of Nigerian Cameroons, NCNC. The young Azikiwe would then collaborate with Eyo Ita, who had founded the Nigerian Youth Movement, NYM, together with the likes of Samuel Akisoya, Ernest Okoli, H.O. Davis, and Kofa Abayomi to take Nigerian nationalism to an even more audacious dimension. Soon, the youth movement will attract such stalwarts of anti-colonial politics as the then young Jeremiah Obafemi Awolowo. Out of this young generation of leaders, who were very young at the time, out of these young generation leaders to whom Albert Macaulay, the father of Nigerian nationalism, had mounted torch, would emerge the two southern pillars of nationhood, namely Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Chief Obafemi Awolowo. With the Richards Constitution of 1946 and the inclusion of the northern region into the nation-building architecture, another pillar will emerge in the person of Sir Ahmadu Bello. In keeping with the culture of transgenerational integration and mentoring, these tripartite pillars of Nigerian nationhood will deploy an inclusive strategy that will see collaboration and practical engagement with younger leaders. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe will go on to facilitate the emergence of the likes of Michael Okpara. It's like I'm reminding you of what happened in your days. I'm trying to employ history and storytelling to tell the story to the younger generation who did not know where the rain began to beat us. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe will go on to facilitate the emergence of the likes of Michael Okpara and Wafo Risu, while Sir Ahmadu Bello will facilitate the emergence of his contemporary, not his servant, his contemporary, Tafawa Balewa, as well as younger politicians. Like my Thomas Sule. On his part, Chief Obafemi Awolowo will collaborate with and facilitate the rise of such young leaders as Antonia Naho, who moved the motion for Nigeria's independence, Bola Ige, Bode Thomas, and Samuel Ladoke Akintola, SLA. However, this cultural political progenitor-protege relationship was soon breached in the interaction between Awolowo and Akintola, thus precipitating a chain of events that will eventually culminate in the overthrow of the democratic process by a group of impatient young military officers. Despite the culture of hierarchy, to achieve intergenerational integration, The following 6 points must be our compass. Number 1, we must begin from the household. The menaces of society today come from households. Terrorists, armed robbers, kidnappers, drug pushers, drug users, corrupt politicians, and treasury looters in the public and private sectors are products of families. Dysfunctional homes produce dysfunctional nations. But strong families are the units of a strong nation. The transference of a worthy legacy from value-driven parents to their offspring will result in value-driven societies. Second, we must embrace the redemptive value of culture. We must revive those aspects of culture that foster community spirit and nation building. Mindful of the African proverb that says, it takes a village to raise a child. Number 3, we must incorporate mentoring and leadership development into the standard operating procedure at the institutional level in the public as well as the private sector, from the civil service to the corporation. That's crucible that shaped the lives of Simena Debo and the superhuman secretaries. Would you rise and let us welcome our former president and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bishop. We welcome you, sir. We welcome you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I welcome you. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Finally, it must be added to communicate effectively with a global awareness of 21st century. The younger generation, the older generation must embrace intergenerational education. The emergence of the new Nigeria will be intergenerational integration, not generational opposition, not generational antagonism, and our ability to find common ground and unify pathway forward. The contributions of Chief Sowunmi in this regard have rounded the possibilities of our leaders, and we must now rise to the occasion and forge ahead. Once again, happy birthday to you, sir. May the years ahead of you be even more rewarding than years behind. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you all. I've rounded the possibilities of our leaders, and we must now rise to the occasion and forge ahead.
Time, the Lord is good. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
Okay, maybe I should quickly do my thank you over at Pastor Tunde Bakare. I hope I'm going to be able to get a copy and say it the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Matthew Olusegun Okikiola Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR PhD, the Balogun of Ogun Kingdom, Omolowo Duru, Baba of Africa, walked in. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for him? Thank you. His Excellency, sir. Sometimes when I watch stuff on TV, sir, it's a special request. And I know you're not too old to grant it. You're not even old. Sir, a couple of my colleagues, you did skits with them. Personally, I would want to have a dance with you today. So you can go right. So DJ, please, in 1 second. Tell me where are you?
ìjọba ìgbókì ìkáàbọ̀ sí àárín wa bàbá wa bàbá dáadáa olóríire onínúure olórí akẹ́tù àbíwà pẹ̀lẹ́ bàbá Ọbásanjọ́ là ń kí lọ́wọ́.
Thank you so much.
Once an excellency, forever an excellency. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Babawa, High Chief, His Excellency, mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ wọn sà. Babawa Matthew, Òkìkí Ọlátàn, Àrẹ̀mú, Ọbásanjọ́, ẹ má pé mo bá yín lédè mo pè yín lórúkọ, orúkọ ni wọ́n fi ń pọmọ aládé. Mo kì í bàbá mi ọmọ Ìgbòho Adé Ògún, ojú òní tì yín láyéláyé. Editing. Thank you very much, sir. Ever before my bad light, we welcome you. We welcome you. We appreciate you. If I put a Japanese mask on you, don't be late. You don't know something. What do you buy? Keep my song. She won't be able to read about it. Keep my holiday. You do anything. I shall do by. I shall do by. You want to say something?
The Yanoja Southwest and the Deputy National President, Ìyá Ọlọ́jà, Mama Dada, Mama Olóríire, orin yẹn ni. Ìyá Ọlọ́jà ló lọ́jà, gbogbo ayé ló ti gbọ́ òkò ìgbà tí ẹ bá ṣàmẹ̀bọ̀, kò ní ìgbà tí ẹ yà éfàyà o. Ìyá Ọlọ́jà ló lọ́jà, gbogbo Alárẹ̀mú bàbá national president ni and national traders and market that council of Nigeria. Bàbá Alárẹ̀mú èyí ni national grand patron ó kì í sà. Ẹ má fọdọ̀ ọjà ṣeré, mo tọ́jú ná. Ẹ má ọjà ṣeré o. Àwọn àlọ́jà ló ní sáà yìí. Lójú yìí, ojúlé-gbé nàdá. Lójú yìí, ojúlé-gbé nàdá. Ṣùgbọ́n lóde òní, ìyá láti làjẹ́. Àjíṣọwọ́ owó gbogbo ìgbà. Ṣìkìṣìkì máa ń. Wọ́n sọ fún yín àbí mi ò sọ fún yín. Orí yẹn ga jù wọ́n ní máa kọrin ká tó kúrò nígbà ilé mi. That one I am sure of. Ó yẹ ká kí wọn ká kí màmá náà ká tọ́ wọlé wọ́n ti pọ́n bàbá wa lé bàbá wa Òkìkí Ọlápọ̀ His Excellency Obasanjo màmá wa. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the next one right now, where we are going to review. But before the review, guys, are you ready? It's time for us to have an introduction of footprints of a rebel.
On a wooden stool with another young woman seated on the floor to her right. The pregnant woman introduced herself as Munirat Abel, daughter of the famous Usta Sulaiman of Oketu in a Tontebo area of Ijebode. She gave the name of the man who sent her as Shubuale Akombi Sowunmi and introduced him as her husband. This piece of information brought a glow of joy to the face of Madame Iyanotu. Shubuale was her eldest child who had left home some 5 years earlier in pursuit of his trade as an Ifa priest and a first-class Ifa dignitary. Throughout these introductions, Taiwo Sowunmi slept blissfully, comfortably ensconced in Munirat Abel's room. 3 months later, he made his entry into the world at 8 a.m. on Monday, the 16th day of February, 1942. Today, we are celebrating him at 80 with an abridged presentation of his 8 decades in one book, Footprints of a Rebel.
The man that was a man of the people, late Chief M.K.O. Abiola. Can we please put our hands together one more time for Mrs. Asa Abiola Costello? Thank you.
Wọ́n ní ká pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Hafsat Ọlárónkẹ́ ọmọ MKO Abíọ́lá ọmọ ayé lógún ìdèrè lọ́gbọ̀n ayé kì í yẹni kí dèrè má dé ọmọ ìyàwó gàdà mọ́rò fún ilé ọkọ lòun lè yí òjò sú akórí ìyàwó wọnú ọ̀fẹ́ òwò náà òwò dátọ́ orí ìyàwó ìjáde wọn ọmọ ayé rere kọlọ́nkó tẹlẹ̀ fẹ́ èèyàn rẹ MK Abíọ́lá ló kọ orí kì í yẹn fún mi fúnra rẹ̀ kọlọ́nkó gbìyànjú àtàlájà Kudrat Abíọ́lá kọlọ́nkó bá wa tẹlẹ̀ fẹ́ èèyàn rẹ kọlọ́nkó tún Nàìjíríà ṣe fún wa Afsat, I welcome you. And how is everything? You look well. And I like to add, I'm happy to say, I'm not saying for some time, I'm happy to see you today. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'm so deeply honored and privileged to stand before all of you today. When I was first asked by my dear friend Yemi Sowunmi Sowunmi actually, to present this review, I declined. I declined not because I did not love the subject of the review, the author of the book. I've met him several times and I hold him in the highest esteem. But I declined because I was in Brussels, which is a city many, many hours from here in Belgium. And I was supposed to be organizing a forum between Europe and Africa that took place from the 14th to the 18th. So I thought there's no way I can come for an event on the 19th when my event in Belgium ends on the 18th. But what I found in a way that really resonates throughout Chief Sowunmi's book is that the universe works with Chief Sowunmi. Chief Sowunmi wanted me to come and do the review of the book. And mysteriously, the European Commission, the European government, made a decision that the event was going to be virtual. So there was no need for me to be physically in Brussels. So I found myself on a flight flying back to Nigeria after a long year of absence because of the COVID-19 pandemic, because I'm here to honor the celebrant, the great man of the moment, Chief Sowunmi. Thank you very much, sir, for the invitation. So I would like to now read my review, which is on my phone, fortunately. The woman actually was the sister of a childhood friend. But the childhood friend was from a prominent Muslim family. And although Chief Sowunmi is himself a devout Muslim, from his father's side, they are followers of the Ifa Divinity School. So his childhood friend did not want that kind of husband or his sister. But the sister herself had also fallen in love with Chief Sowunmi. Now, maybe some other person might now start begging the brother to open the way for him. But Chief Sowunmi went to war and started writing stinging letters insulting his brother-in-law, which you can read about in the story. We're just fortunate that his brother-in-law, at least, actually, I don't think his brother-in-law, I don't know if his brother-in-law ever came around, but so deep and consistent was the love that his wife had for him, that the family had to finally concede to allow him to marry her. Another thing that I saw in the book that I'd like to make sure to mention was the way that Chief Sowunmi practiced feminism. Many times when we think and talk about feminism, we think about women. But in that book, we see how a man can be a feminist. And Chief Sowunmi was a classical, quintessential feminist man. He fought for his wife. He opened the way for his wife. He never stood in the way of his wife. In the story, he tells us how he was struggling with his career because he was so troublesome. Sometimes when he was a teacher, they would demote him, they would push him back, he would be struggling. But because his wife was such a successful businesswoman, she could really manage the family front. And Chief Sowunmi tells a story that shows that he was not intimidated by this at all. In fact, he even celebrated it. But he also did something very interesting. Chief Sowunmi didn't sit down and say, my wife is cash He left Nigeria when he was having so many troubles getting settled here, and he went to England to become a security guard in a mall, and he tells the story in the book. In fact, when Ganiba Weyini, who was a beloved older brother to him, came to England and was in the mall, he now saw one young man in a uniform. He didn't even look at the man because he didn't expect that he would know this man. Then the man said, Chief Gani, it's me. He looked, he was so shocked. He said, I don't want to call his name, but he called him by his name. He said, what are you doing in that uniform? And she showed me in the way that, in his very candid, lucid way that all his friends probably know very well and love about him. He said, I couldn't settle in Nigeria, so I've come here and I'm working as a security guard. Now, this is a man that was often the most brilliant student in many of his classes. This is a man that was the first student union leader to come from the Department of Education, who was so dynamic, who was a trade unionist and had excelled. Even in his first job, they gave him a car in Nigeria. So Chief Ganiba really couldn't understand how such a man could now be a security guard in a mall in London. So Chief Gani said to him, you are coming home with me, you will come and work in my law firm. You know, what area of sadness I felt in the book is that because Chief Sowunmi is so humble, whatever they have, and we need to tell those stories more. Chief Sowunmi, I want to say that in reading your story, I learned so much. I learned that when you fight with integrity, you pay a price and there's always sacrifice. But I also learned that God is always working for you. Because throughout your story, Chief Sowunmi, every time you said yes, God also said yes with you. When you decided that you wanted to be a union leader, the first ever from your department, God mobilized. When you mobilized and you did the work, God gave you the approval and you got what you wanted. When you wanted to start a school, even from the building, your own home, you were able to start. And that school today has students that are all over the world, successful, flourishing. When I read your story, I see how if I start taking small, humble steps, but with integrity and intentionality, God will take me to the end of that journey. And I want more Nigerians to see this story to show me. I'm saying this to you because while I love the book, I think that this is only volume 1 of what will be a 3-volume book. We want to hear more from you. Nigerians to be willing to take that humble step one by one and not look to hammer and to get rich quick, so that FBI will be looking for us, CIA will be looking for us, and all over the world people will know us from Yahoo Yahoo. Because we are more than that. We are more than that, and your book expressed that very clearly. So I would like to ask everybody in this hall to please join me. Would you please stand? Chief Sowunmi, you are not to stand. I would like all of you to join me in singing the song, "Boy is a Jolly Good Fellow." Boy is a jolly good fellow. Boy is a jolly good fellow. Boy is a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Thank you so much. Please sit down. And the last thing I will say to Chief Sowunmi is this. Thank you, everybody in the room, for the incredible wealth and success that we achieved. I pray that we also get to know you, because just as NCO shared life lessons, just as President Obasanjo has given so many life lessons, Nigerians need to know the story of people like you, who through integrity, through hard work, show us that Nigerians are as good as anybody anywhere. Thank you so much.
Ẹ̀kẹ́ kọ́kọ́ fún wa ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí, wọ́n ní kẹ́ fún wa ní ìmọ̀ràn kó tó di pé ẹ bá wa unveil. fún wọn látẹ̀wọ̀ nígbà tí bàbá ń bọ̀ níwájú lóyún màá fi èdò sí i àmọ̀jẹ́ mi kọ́kọ́ fọ Yorùbá ẹsẹ̀ sì yẹ kí ẹ kọ́kọ́ fọ Yorùbá bàbá mi ò nínú oore bàbá o bàbá o bàbá o olúwa ẹ bàbá sí fún wa bàbá o bàbá o bàbá o olúwa dá bàbá sí fún wa bàbá wa.
Ẹ jókòó. Bàbá Sowunmi. Ẹ bá yín yọ̀. Mo kí yín kú oríire. Mo kí yín kú oríire. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Ohun mi á. Protect ọ̀dọ̀ ìyára ẹ̀ mọ́. Mo fi bá yín yọ̀ lónìí. Ẹ wọ ẹgbẹ́ òjèlérí àwọn tó ti pé ọgọ́rin ọdún láyé iṣẹ́ ìkan tó dúró mi ò kàwé tó ẹ̀kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n kan kejì ni pé ẹ̀kọ́ wé nípa ara yín ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ olóògbé ìṣe ayé lójú èjì lọ òun jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ kankan nípa ara wọn. And you are the best teller of your own story. You are the best teller of your own story. You may be honest about it. You may not be, but you are the best teller of your own story. We to congratulate you lórí ìyẹn. Wàá congratulate yín lọ́nà kẹta ní ìgbésí ayé tẹ̀jú gbé. And if you look at the title of the book, Footprints of a Rebel, mo wò mo ní báwo lè yàn ṣe lè pinnu rebel lẹ́dàá lóòótọ́. Because if you are going to live the life of integrity and honesty, you will have to be a rebel. There will be times that you will ask you to do something that you will say, no, this is not right. And when you say that, you become a rebel. You may even become a personal non grata. So ìgbé ayé yìí wọ́n láti jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ fún àwọn ẹlòmíì. And I believe that that is what I've sat and brought out as a reviewer of the book. Straight in the face and say, this is not right. This is not on. This I will not be part of. This is not good for Nigeria. Lọ́wọ́ ẹni yìí sí o, tó rẹ̀ ṣe ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ni.
only life begins at 40. If life begins at 40, you are only 40 years old. And then mo ti ń bọ̀ ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ yẹn wọ́n ṣe pé kan àbádẹ́ tó kúrò bí mo ti ń bọ̀ pọ̀ mi ẹbí ibi tí mo ń bọ̀ yẹn tí mo ti ń bọ̀ wọ́n ṣe pé kan ọba after 80 ẹ máa fún ìyàwó tuntun wọ́n nítorí iṣẹ́ ẹ̀dá ìwà ẹ̀dá ẹ̀tì náà lásọ yìí ìwà ẹ̀dá iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀dá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ni àbàkọ́ náà sọ àbí àdìgbèsíwájú gómìnà
as a lordship pleases.
Happy to be felicitate with you in this special occasion of you joining the club of Autobiography. Lọ́mọ wa jẹ́kẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ inú ẹgbẹ́ yẹn. Àwọn tá a ṣáájú yìí níbẹ̀. Lọ́n jẹ́ káwá ló lè pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn tó dẹ̀sí wọlé lọ́n jẹ́ káwá ló lè pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìgbẹ́ bá tẹ̀lé bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́n láti jẹ́ pẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Congratulations. Felicitate with you, and I wish you many, many happy returns of this day, the day of and this book will not be your last, because as you gather more experience, as you continue to live, we have to pass on. And the best way to pass on, document for. I'm happy to welcome you into the club of Bakare.
Sir, His Excellency, sir. Oh, God, no matter how far we never just there. Never just there. Me infect anyone need. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, right about now, we are going to invite His Excellency to please come here and help in unveiling this group. His Excellency Chief Obasanjo. And while he's here, I will want His Excellency the State Governor.
Obey the director. I will want to commission and present this book to the public in the name of God Almighty, who allow the author to live up to 80 years and empowered him to write this book. And my prayer is that this book may be a source of wisdom for those who will read it, a source of knowledge and a guide to their life. So be it God. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start the book launch by inviting here His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State. His Excellency, the White Lion of Nigeria, and Executive Governor of Kogi State, of our collective dream, come 2023, the Araga One, the Chief
Secretary to Government, Dr. Mrs. Folashade Arike Ayuade, Honorable Commissioner for Local Government of Kogi State, Alhaji Afolabi Akwabe, Commissioner for Information, Kogi State Evangelist Kwame Kekiti, all other government functionaries here present, in absentia Pastor Tunde Bakare, the book reviewer Hafsat Olarunke Abiola Costello, other religious and traditional leaders here present, the celebrants that have turned 80 today.
Thank you very much as we all keep quiet. Thank you, sir.
I'll just give a brief message from His Excellency and do his launch straight up. 80 looks good on our father, Chief Tayo Sowunmi, and the book that we are about to launch clearly tells the story of your activism as a student, a union leader, and an astute politician, spanning about 6 decades. We believe that once we read this book, we will learn very deep life lessons and gain wisdom as we move on in life. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, is just 46 years old. That is 34 years away from 80. So there are still many years of climbing. And the lessons from this book will go a long way to helping him climb the ladder of success, just like you have done. He says to tell you, happy birthday at 80. He says to tell you, you are still looking very, very young at 80, young, agile, and that he wishes that you will get to 80 and still be as strong as you are. In launching this book, His Excellency would want to have 20 copies of this book for an amount that I will not make public, but that will be made known to the author and celebrant directly. The 20 copies of this book will go with us back to Kogi State. Happy birthday and many more years of blessing, strength, and vigor. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you so very much, His Excellency.
Present, honorable commissioners for local government and chieftaincy affairs, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, members of the Body Executive Council, particularly the SSD Dr. Ayuade Fonashadi Adike, Honorable Commissioner for Information, Evangelist Kingsley Banwo, the guest speaker who has gone, Pastor Tunde Bakare, the book reviewer, my sister Hafsa Abiola Costello, the leader of the Mountain and Fast were here earlier on. I'd like to also recognize the former presidents and former editor of Punch, Autobiography, our leader in APC Nobu Central, Chief Sowunmi. I can see Chief Bakare, Honorable Fasil Bakare, former member of the President House of Assembly, my brother Sheikh Sowunmi, families of Sowunmi in general, ladies and gentlemen, let me formally recognize the celebrant of today, and let me also confess I have 3 reasons to be here today. Number 1 reason, of course, is I'm representing His Excellency the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Akpabio Nwemefa, who is out of the country, and he has mandated that I should be here with a number of members of the state council. So I'm here as a state duty. I'm also here as an Egbaman. When someone from Ijebu, the people who can regard in Egbaland as Omonile, when one of them is celebrating as an Egbaman, I must also be here. Thirdly and finally, I am a great advocate. When someone who has attended the nation's pride at the University of First Choice, University of Lagos, is celebrating. And you will also see that Pastor Tunde Bakare was also here as a great advocate. And the celebrant was not just an advocate, he was president of Student Union. And I'm also proud that I was also the Student Union government. And indeed, currently I'm the president of the University of Lagos Muslim alumni. So I am here for very many reasons. Congratulations, sir. I know time is fast spent and lunch is going to be served, and I don't want to stand between you and the lunch. So what I'm simply going to do is to read the letter from the governor which has been delivered to Baba, and this will also serve as a public appreciation of who you are to us in Egbaland, in Ogun State and in Nigeria. We are proud as a nation, a great nation. We are the last nation to be conquered by British, and we are also the nation that have also been source of solace and comfort to the Nigerian nation. Without Egbaland, there will be no Nigeria. And of course, the preeminent position of Egbaland is due to lots of sons and daughters like Sowunmi. So I read the letter from His Excellency to you now. The title of the letter, Alayi Sowunmi, Ijema Bebuta, 80 active chairs to a consummate patriot and self-effacing achiever. With immense pride and joy, I convey warm and sincere felicitation to you, sir, on the occasion of your graceful entry into the Octogenarian Club on Wednesday the 16th of February 2022. On behalf of my family, the government and good people of Ogun State, I congratulate you on this milestone attainment. Your new age is significant, not only because of the number. Your age is significant because of the impact of your numerous contributions over the decades on your family, community, and the nation at large. Your patriotism, commitment to common good, courage, and service to humanity manifested early in your life with a much reference tenure as the president of the University of Lagos Students Union. The labor movement in the country also benefited from your real leadership that recorded great improvement in the welfare and well-being of the Nigerian worker. And yet, you were a dirty patron to your progeny, who are worthy ambassadors of your values, and are also people the heritage of excellence and service to humanity. Furthermore, you are a devout Muslim whose contributions to the Islamic faith have earned you many recognitions, including as Bakare of Germany and Bakare of England. Despite your great accomplishments, that are subject of great admiration and applause, you are a self-effacing and uncommon embodiment of humility and generous philanthropy. On this occasion, it is my prayer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will renew your strength and grant you many more years in good health, so that you continue to render selfless service to your Creator and mankind. Once again, please accept my hearty felicitations and the assurances of my highest regard and considerations as always. Very sincerely yours, President Abiodun Emefa, Governor of Ogun State. Congratulations, sir.
SDV Entertainment.